Hello, my friends, and welcome back to my channel. I wanted to come on and do a reading, and the energy feels a little heavy, so we're going to see what this reading is about. Clearly, it's a love reading about you and your person, but like I said, the energy feels quite heavy. So I'll be interested to see what comes out of this deck, and I have a few other decks that we're going to get, but we're going to start with this one. And like I said, I hope you're doing well. I'm feeling a lot of heavy energy. I'm not sure if that's you or your person I'm picking up on. I should be able to figure it out once we get into the energy. Well, we have water, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, but the emotions could be heavy right now with this water card. If you look at that image, it's someone who's, underwater. So things could feel quite emotional and heavy right now. So let's see what we need to hear, what Spirit wants you to know. What? What? A Dashin, is that what you call those dogs? Could be symbolic, but we have Chaser, Hot Pursuit coming for you. Interesting. I was not expecting that. You could be someone who in the past struggled with chasing energy, codependency, not feeling like you're enough, so you have to chase. That's interesting. We have marriage, forever commitment. So you could have been married to this person, or you could have seen yourself committing to this person. I don't want to say too much before we get into it, but with that Chaser card, Hot Pursuit coming towards you, it could be that you've healed out your own Chaser energy and this person is now, wanting to pursue you. But like I said, I don't even want to get ahead of myself. The energy feels quite heavy. We have proposal, offer on the table. Again, I don't want to get ahead of myself, and I could be embodying your energy. You may not want to get ahead of yourself. But sometimes right before our manifestations come in is when we feel the heaviest and the most hopeless, especially if you've been, hoping that this person would pursue you or come towards you for quite a while and put an offer on the table. We have temptation. So temptation. Again, I want to see what comes out. Like, I don't even want to, that temptation card, I don't want to tempt you with this reading. But you could be holding back the temptation to chase this person, is what I'm hearing. We have celebration, which can be 4 of Wands energy or 3 of Cups energy. So, and like the celebration card, I don't want to tempt you by like that celebration card. Like, I don't want you to celebrate before you have something to celebrate about, is what I'm hearing. This is interesting. Like I said, you could feel quite heavy right now. We have marriage, forever commitment, and flow, trust and surrender. So, and holding back. So it feels like you've been trying to hold back from this person, not in a manipulative way, but you've been fighting the temptation to chase them. You've been fighting the temptation to get ahead of yourself. Very interesting. Very interesting. And this marriage card, commitment, if we take like that out of it, it reminds me of the Hierophant. So this could be a connection that was meant to teach you some very important lessons, maybe lessons about trusting and surrender to the flow of the universe. And honestly, I feel like the fact that I'm getting that energy is that you are trying to trust and surrender and not be tempted by chasing this person. Confirmation from my dog. All right, so let's see what we need to, let's see what Spirit wants you to know about this connection. We have unexpected. And that's what I meant about sometimes when our manifestations are about to come in, that's when we can feel the most hopeless and the heaviest. We do have some sort of unexpected something come. Well, okay then. We have an unexpected apology coming in. And that makes sense that we saw that chaser card, hot pursuit coming towards you, but you're trying to resist the temptation from like chasing this person. You're trying to surrender to the flow. And a lot of the times when we surrender to the flow, and I always use this example, but when we're holding on really tightly to something or really tightly to an outcome, it can, like, think about holding on like this energy. It can actually block energy from coming in. But when we let go and we release it and we open our hands and we let go and we surrender to the flow of the universe, it allows the energy to flow and for divine timing to unfold. So it feels like you have an unexpected apology coming in. And, you know, I just want to mention something because I've seen a few comments about, you know, my person came back, but they didn't really apologize. They kind of gave me this, remember that holding back card? So I see comments about how my person came back, but they're still kind of wearing a mask. They're not really apologizing. And what I said to that person in my comment was, if this person isn't giving you the apology or the words you need, you don't need to respond. It's better just to like let that sit and wait for that apology. And if, you know, if they truly are apologetic and they see you're not, you know, accepting those, I hate to say it, but crumbs, or you're not accepting that cryptic message, it will kind of push them, and I don't know if I'm using the right words, but it will kind of push them to actually step up and say something meaningful. So if you do, you know, or if you have gotten a message from your person where you didn't get the apology you wanted or the honesty you wanted, my advice for you is to just sit in silence and wait for them to really give you that apology you deserve. And that could trigger your chaser wound in itself, because you may be feeling like, well, if I don't respond, if I don't say something, maybe they'll never come back. But they came back for a reason. They opened up the line of communication for a reason. So if you stay strong in your boundaries, I believe that this person will realize, okay, this cryptic message, this half-assed apology or lack of apology wasn't enough. I really have to be more vulnerable. Anyway, that's what I was hearing, so I wanted to say it. What are you spying? So this person could be watching you. And, you know, boundaries on the bottom, it could be that you put up boundaries with this person. And like I said, if this person comes in with like, I hate to say crumbs, but if they come in with crumbs or they come in not with this actual apology, and you are feeling like you have to respond or else you'll lose them forever, that's just showing you that it's triggering that chaser energy within you, that fear of abandonment, fear of being left behind. And you can, you know, use that to your advantage. Focus on how it's making you feel, and wait for a proper apology is what I'm hearing. Anyway, I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. But what I am hearing is that you could have recently gotten some kind of cryptic message from this person. But anyway, I would hold out for that apology. But we do have an unexpected, like, I don't want to take away from the energy here. We do have, you know, what looks like an offer coming in with an apology. So, and you deserve that, is what I'm hearing. And again, with boundaries on the bottom, you could have had to put up boundaries with this person. And boundaries they're not meant to build walls around yourself. They're meant to keep you safe. And that's another thing. Like if this person did give you some kind of cryptic message, you could stay strong in your boundaries, and you could, you don't have to respond to them. Silence is powerful. So you could, just don't respond to them until they come forward with more meaningful action and words. Or you could say, I'm keeping my boundaries up because, I was hoping you'd take accountability and apologize. But anyway, the name Brad could be symbolic. We have, I'm sorry, forgive me, I miss us, and we have unexpected. So it feels like there's some sort of unexpected apology coming towards you. And the fact that we see a butterfly on that person's cheek could surprise you that this person has actually transformed and is taking accountability. But I just wanted to mention that other thing, like if this person unexpectedly reaches out to you and it feels very non-apologetic, there's nothing wrong with you keeping your boundaries in place and not responding. Anyway, so let's keep going. What do we need to know about this? What do we need to know about this? Yeah, we have toxicity, negative energy. So this could have been someone who was quite toxic, someone who you felt was manipulative. And I just want to touch on that for one moment because there's a lot of misinformation out there. There are some people out there that don't realize, and I'm not here to make excuses, but there are people who don't realize their own manipulation. I do believe that you were dealing with someone with quite negative energy, someone who you did kind of feel manipulated by, someone who maybe was a little bit toxic. And if that's the case and you had to put up boundaries, you do deserve a real apology, and you do deserve to keep those boundaries up if you're not getting that apology. This could have been someone also who was quite low vibrational energy, where you had to learn how to speak up for yourself, even though you loved them and you had that chaser energy and you were tempted to, you were tempted by them. Past love on the bottom. So this is definitely someone you know. But you have every right to put up those boundaries and speak up for yourself. We have introverted, holding back, not saying much. That's exactly why I went on that tangent about if this was someone who was toxic towards you. I don't know why I'm hearing so strongly that they could come in, or maybe they did come in. I don't mean to repeat myself, but if they came in, like if they were like low vibrational energy and you had to put up boundaries, and they came in and they were holding back, not saying much, there's no reason for you to respond or put down those boundaries until they give you the proper apology you deserve, okay? This is clearly someone who's thinking heavily about you and wants to come in and put some sort of offer on the table. And again, I'm going to get tarot to confirm. I'm not saying that they're going to just come in and not take accountability, but I was hearing that for a reason. So I was hearing that for some of you, you could have heard from them in the past and they didn't take that accountability. And, don't be tempted by that. If they come in and they're not taking accountability and they're still in that negative energy, you don't have to engage with that. You can be the one to hold back and not say much, okay? But we do, well, We have forgiveness here, apology, kindness, grace. So it does feel like this is someone who will be coming forward with a heartfelt apology. But just know, I just want to prepare you that if they come in and they're not saying much and they're not apologizing, I wouldn't be putting all your cards on the table. I wouldn't be taking those boundaries down until they're showing you kindness and grace and not that negative energy. Anyway, and I don't want to discourage you either. I'm not saying that that's what this person is going to do. But I am saying that if it took you strength to put up those boundaries, especially if you struggled with fear of abandonment and lack of self-worth and chaser energy, hold out for a better apology is what I'm hearing. All right. And again, I'm repeating myself, but just know that it's okay for you to hold back and just listen to your body, because if it's triggering that fear of abandonment and what if I don't answer, I'll never hear from them again. I believe you will. I believe they'll get the message, silence is powerful, that they need to come in with something more substantial is what I'm hearing. But let's keep going. So we do offer of loyalty, commitment. So there is an offer of loyalty coming. So again, if it comes in and it doesn't feel like a real apology, don't say much. Don't take those boundaries down. Wait for that loyal offer. Wait for that kind apology. This is it, boundaries and release. So trust. I was saying about letting go, but trust your instincts. You will know if you should take these boundaries down or not. And again, I have to stress that I can't actually tell you what this person, until we get into tarot, I can't actually, I'll look at their intentions and their actions. But just trust your gut. My favorite reader always calls it your inner compass. If it's activating that anxiety within you and that, that chaser energy, or that if your gut is telling you they're not actually taking accountability, trust your gut and keep those boundaries up. What I am hearing for a lot of you, though, again, I don't want to discourage you. What I'm hearing for a lot of you, and the sun is starting to come out as I'm saying this, is that what I'm seeing here is that this is someone that you were chasing, or you had a fear of abandonment. I feel like there was some toxic behaviors and they maybe mistreated you, and you had to put up boundaries, and you had to release them. You had to release this toxic version of them so that they could have their own wake-up call and come in with a real apology. Again, I'm going to look at tarot to really look at their intentions. Because I'm hearing for a lot of you, it's not that this person is going to come in with a half-assed apology. But I feel like this was a situation, I feel like for a lot of you, they're going to come in with a heartfelt apology, wanting to make amends, showing you kindness, compassion, which kindness and compassion doesn't come from low vibrational energy. But I am seeing, whoever you are, that you needed to release this and put up boundaries in this situation. And remember, release, I was talking about holding on tightly. You could have tried to hold on to this, hoping that, especially in this community with the people I channel, you have that healing energy within you where you want to help someone heal. But sometimes the best way you can help someone heal and take accountability is to release them and put up healthy boundaries. All right, so let me make sure that is, yeah, we have lessons on the bottom. That's exactly what I meant. This person you had to learn a lesson about putting up boundaries and chasing and all of that. And I feel like this person had to learn a lesson. All right. I do feel like this person, you know, has been holding back from you. And we had that watching you card, so they could have been holding back and just watching you from a distance. All right, let's keep going. Yeah, yep, exactly. We have unexpected action. So this person is going to be taking action towards you. We have the swans on the bottom, so you could resonate with counterparts. And if you do resonate with counterparts, these are lessons that you had to learn. These are lessons this person had to learn. So we do have unexpected action coming in, like sending a message, taking action. And again, it looks like there's a real apology here. An apology for their toxic behavior. And again, I feel like, why am I repeating myself so much? I feel like you had to put up boundaries and release this person in order for them to learn their lesson. So, spying. So let's get, it also says honesty. So it does feel like it's going to be honest communication. But again, back to what I was saying, if this comes in and they're not being honest with you or they're holding back and not saying much, wait for them to open up. I wouldn't be getting back into that cycle with them until they can take accountability and be honest with you. And if this person, if you release them and put up boundaries, and after all this time, they're coming back with that communication, but it seems a little dry or cryptic, don't fear that they will never come back again if you don't immediately answer their message. I would definitely respect your own boundaries and wait for that honesty and that real apology. All right. All right, let's keep going. Yeah. Yes, exactly. There's that. I didn't want to get ahead of myself, but we have that coming in for you with an apology. Communication, this is, yeah, very clear. They're coming forward with an apology. And it's not just, I have to stress this. These cards, again, I'll confirm with tarot, these cards are showing that this person is going to be saying they're sorry and they are going to be asking you for forgiveness. So if it doesn't come in like that, wait for them to come in like that. Keep those boundaries up. I know I keep repeating myself, but I almost feel like the fact that I know I repeat myself a lot, but the fact that I keep repeating myself, this could be a lesson that you had to go through. Negative energy, you may had to have gone through this many times with this person in order for you to learn your lesson. All right, so they're coming in with communication and an apology. That's good. So let's look at the toxicity. Toxicity, deception, inner child, and that is exactly what I was saying, is that when I was talking about a lot of people who are in that negative energy and have that toxicity don't even realize it, because it comes from a place of childhood wounding confirmed by spirit here. It's confirmed by spirit right here. So this person clearly had, and again, I'm not here to make excuses, but I don't believe in that black and white thinking of, oh, they're just a narcissist. And if you do believe that you are connected to an actual narcissist, I don't know if you should, like, I hear other readers say this, I wouldn't be watching love readings. I don't think this person is I think that social media can really demonize people with toxic traits and label them harshly. And from what I'm seeing, the messages my guides are giving me is that this negative energy and this manipulation came from inner childhood wounding. And what I mean by that is they could have had a parent who was quite toxic. So they have those traits kind of deeply ingrained within them, and they might not even know it. They might not be self-aware about it. Although I feel like your person has become more self-aware. Like I said, I'm going to check with tarot. I actually might change the tarot deck I was going to use. Anyway. So this could have been learned behavior from them watching like a toxic parent. And I'm getting the example of pit bulls and the reputation that pit bulls get. My daughter made me watch a movie recently about a pit bull, although the dog in it wasn't actually a pit bull, but in the show or in the movie, they said it was a pit bull. And the reputation that pit bulls get is that they're all evil. They're all, oh my gosh, there's little Robin outside. Anyway, your name could be Robin. Maybe look up the spiritual significance of a robin for yourself. But pit bulls get that reputation that they're just evil. They're aggressive dogs. They'll hurt you. You can't trust them. And that is not actually true. Yes, they were bred for, I don't know what they were bred for, but I know that they were bred to be like fighting dogs or guard dogs. But it also has to do with how the owner raises them. If the owner raises them with love and compassion and care, you know, some of the biggest babies I've ever met dog-wise have been pit bulls. Like I have a memory when a few years ago, not a few years ago, like 20 years ago, we had a neighbor who had a pit bull, and that dog was the biggest baby. It was like, it was the biggest baby. So it does have to do with how, going back to humans, the way we're raised leaves an effect, like a lasting effect and deeply ingrained patterns within us. So I do feel like this is someone who had some more deceptive qualities that stemmed from inner childhood wounds. It says childhood wounds right here. I want to leave that card there. I don't want to put it underneath this one. And on the bottom, we have waiting, divine timing. So when someone is like that, there's nothing you can do to convince them that they need to change. There's nothing you can do to stop that behavior. There's nothing you can do to heal them. You can't fix other people. What you can do is empower yourself by putting up healthy boundaries and releasing them and letting, you know, the divine do its job and teach them those lessons through, I'm hearing karmic lessons. My throat's closing over as I'm saying that. So I think that there has been a block in communication. All right. So let's keep going. Let's keep going. For some reason, when I grabbed this deck, I thought, oh, this is just going to be a lighthearted reading. It won't be that long, but clearly not. And I keep slamming the deck, which is a way of, I'm doing it subconsciously. I'm not even aware I'm doing it, but that is a way to release or work out the negative energy of cards. So the fact that I keep doing it, I do feel like I'm even doing it right now. The fact that I'm doing that does show me that this person had some lower vibrational energy. All right. So holding back, not saying much. Again, if this person, we have third party, soul contract. So if this, I do feel like this person, you know, maybe they've been holding back and not saying much because I just said that the divine will take care of it and will send them lessons through third parties. And maybe they've had some third party interference in their life that they needed to experience. And again, I feel like I'm dealing with, I just felt a little trigger in, like, not in myself. This isn't triggering me, but I felt that energy of a trigger. So when I said third party, you know, I don't want you to just automatically jump to the fact that that could have been a love interest. I feel like this person has been holding back because there has been third-party interference, and third-party interference doesn't just have to be a lover. It can be family, friends, jobs, even I keep using the example of that contractor who I felt was like a lesson for me. And, you know, I feel like this person had to go through some sort of karmic lesson before they could learn their lesson. What I'm hearing is that I feel like someone like this almost needs to be treated the way that they treated you in order to learn that lesson. And I don't feel like you, from the energy that I'm feeling from you, I don't think you had the capability to teach them that lesson. I don't think you had the capability to treat them the way that they treated you. So I do feel like the universe aligned them with situations or people that kind of taught them some sort of lesson, or those people treated them the way they treated you, is what I'm hearing. It also says like another lifetime, confusion, past life issues, soul contract, Mercury in retrograde. And thank goodness we're out of Mercury in retrograde now. So, you know, this person maybe just sent you a quick little message during Mercury in retrograde. And now that Mercury is out of retrograde, I feel like there's an actual apology coming. And if you are feeling disappointed because, again, lots of misinformation out there about Mercury in retrograde as well. Recently, I heard someone say, if that person didn't come back in Mercury in retrograde, you're never going to hear from them again. It's like, that's not accurate. So if you didn't hear if you were maybe hoping to hear from this person in Mercury in retrograde and you didn't, it's probably a good thing. Because I feel like you're going to get an actual heartfelt apology this time. I don't know. The fact that I just said that, maybe you've heard from this person before, but let's keep going. Let's keep going. We have boundaries, and we have emotional passion, lust, love, physical passion. So there's a very clear message here, and I can't tell you what to do. I can just give you advice. But Spirit's saying, don't be opening, I'm hearing your body. Don't be lowering your boundaries, especially when it comes to physical connection, until you get the apology you deserve. I would be keeping my boundaries up. I wouldn't be allowing, you know, physical intimacy or sex or anything like that until you get that apology, even if you feel nostalgic about them. The other thing I was hearing is emotional intimacy. So again, until this person can be, and I'm not saying they won't be, but until they can show you that emotional intimacy and that emotional vulnerability, I would be keeping your boundaries up and letting this unfold slowly, is what I'm hearing. Again, you don't have to take my advice. But I wouldn't, why am I hearing this? I just heard I wouldn't be giving it up so easily until they can show you that they've, you know, made healthy changes, that they've healed, and that they can be emotionally vulnerable and intimate with you. Again, just my advice. So one more. So we have regret. So this person, you know, feels like you've released them. You kept moving forward, let go and trust your angels, and now they are in deep regret here. They know they sabotaged this connection. And on the bottom, we do have coming back together. So this person does have regret here. They are showing remorse in this spread, and that they want to compromise. They want to come back together. I feel like they are going to voice the fact that they did sabotage this and that they were, acting from a wounded place. I feel like there is going to be a heartfelt apology. And again, if that's not how they're presenting when they first make that point of contact, I would wait for that vulnerability. I can't stress that enough. I can't stress that enough. All right, so I'm actually going to change my tarot deck because I'm feeling called to a different one. I just don't know which one I'm being called to. I'm almost being called to my light seers, but now I have to go all the way across the room to get it. So I'll be right back. All right. Whoops. So let me just make sure that's all in alignment. It is. And we're going to get tarot to really check this person's intentions. All right, so the first card I saw was the High Priestess. We also have 10 of Wands on the bottom and the Fool, so it does feel like this person, if you look at this 10 of Wands, this is someone who's it's like they're coming home. And the 10 of Wands can symbolize someone who's finally putting down that baggage and those burdens and picking up that Ace of Wands to take action. And we have the Fool right underneath. The 10 of Wands can also symbolize a sign of progress and that I think it's the end of conflict is near. Now I need to check that because I'm second guessing myself. Sign of progress. You are nearing the end of a difficult period. Yeah. All right. Let's keep going with the tarot. We have Judgment. So someone who wants to resurrect this, someone who's been through an awakening, someone who's been through self-evaluation. And again, maybe you had to release this person in order for that to happen. I don't even want to say maybe. For some reason, I say maybe out of habit. I feel like you did have to release this person so that they could have that awakening and do that self-evaluation. And we have the Two of Wands. So this is someone getting ready to leave their comfort zone. Two of Wands, getting ready to make a move. The Two of Wands for me, and now I'm getting a rush of heat, Phoenix energy. But the Two of Wands also with that globe on it, it always reminds me of, for me personally as a reader, someone who had to look at their patterns, the patterns that they were repeating and the cycles that they were repeating that kept them from moving forward in healthy ways. I'm going to do one more shuffle. One more. We have the Page of Cups. Which, the Page of Cups, again, I kept hearing something about if this person comes in with a small message, I would be waiting for something better. I would be waiting for that accountability. Well, we have the Hierophant on the bottom. Same as this deck we had, remember I said commitment was making me think of the Hierophant. So I do feel like this is, some sort of soul contract, that this connection could have even triggered both of your awakenings or your own spiritual ascension. Well then, oh, that makes me so happy. That makes me so happy. So one thing I'm seeing here is that even though you felt this soul contract with this person, this is Taurus energy, you maybe had to release them. Devil in reverse, you had to release, surrender, control. This is very, very good. Devil in reverse, Capricorn energy. This is showing the end of codependency, the end of unhealthy attachments, the end of toxicity. I definitely feel like this person learned some sort of lesson. And Devil in reverse talks about someone who's becoming more self-aware. So this is actually really good. This is actually really good. I like this. All right. So I'm just going to start with seeing what Spirit wants you to know about this connection. What does Spirit want you to know about this connection? And then we'll look at their energy. What does Spirit want you to know about this connection? We have the Queen of Pentacles. So the Queen of Pentacles is about, if you look at this image, this feminine is very much protecting that pentacle. So I do feel like Spirit wants you to know that it's also, to me, a very independent energy, Queen of Pentacles. So I do feel like Spirit wants you to, if you don't see forward movement and progress and growth within this person's energy, Spirit's saying to protect your pentacle, protect your peace. I do feel like you have been in this Queen of Pentacles energy, so you could have been very focused on your career, very focused on nurturing yourself, and again, protecting your own energy. The Queen of Pentacles, too, doesn't need anyone to come in and take care of them or provide for them. What they need is someone to meet them on their level and who will add value to their life. But anyway, I see that Queen of Pentacles as you. Oh my gosh, right underneath, I'm seeing the King of Pentacles. Interesting. So again, you want this person to add value to your life, not take away from it, is what I'm hearing. Let's see two more for what Spirit wants you to know about this connection. Yes, communication and clarity. So I do feel like this, whatever happened between you, it's caused you both to have this breakthrough moment, this mental clarity about this situation. Again, I think you're seeing things clearly. You know that you want commitment. You want someone who will add value to your life. But this is also confirming that this person could be younger than you, but this is confirming that there is some sort of communication coming through, coming in. I do feel like this person has also had a breakthrough moment, an epiphany. And we have the Knight of Pentacles on the bottom, which is why I said this person could be younger than you, but I feel like they've been very slow to come forward with communication. However, the Knight of Pentacles is the most determined knight in the deck, so I do feel like this person is determined. Ace of Wands to take action. Interesting. All right, one more card. You could have a nose ring, or your person could have a nose ring. Let's see. Let's see one more card about what Spirit wants you to know about this connection. I cannot possibly take all of those. That was too many. We have the Seven of Pentacles. So I was mentioning about manifestations, so I do feel like you've been waiting for this communication to come in. Without waiting, I'm not saying that you're sitting around by your phone not doing anything, but it feels like this is still in progress. The Seven of Pentacles in one of my other decks also talks about reevaluation. So I do feel like this person, you know, is ready to put in the work is what I'm hearing, but I'm going to confirm. I just, you know what? That came out crossing. So for what you need to know about this connection, let me just, Spirit's telling me to flip this around because it came out crossing. So for what you need to know about this connection, I do feel like there's a message here that you couldn't force this person's Seven of Pentacles in reverse does talk about you can't force a connection. You couldn't force this person to have clarity, or to have their own awakening or their own epiphany. The other thing I'm hearing is this person could have put in very low effort in the past. Very low effort. And again, you deserve someone, or you're in the energy where you deserve someone who's going to add value to your life, not take away from it. And again, this isn't a manifestation or an epiphany or an awakening that you could force upon this person. They needed to come to this awareness on their own. I want to get one more. Five of Wands in reverse. Okay, that's good. That's really good. Five of Wands in reverse is the end of conflict. It is wanting to compromise, and it is an energy of cooperation. So I do feel like these blockages are being released. We had that card on the back of the deck at the very end, right? So compromise. There's compromise coming. But don't compromise your own values. Oh my gosh, bless me. Blessings coming. Well, that's good. The end of conflict is near, just like the Ten of Wands. Beautiful. All right. That makes me... I'm so protective over you. So let's see who this is. So who is this? King of Wands. Four of Swords. So for who this is, I immediately feel called to talk about the reversal of the King of Wands, which is someone who's quite self-absorbed, someone who's quite self-focused, someone who prioritizes what they want to do over, you know, this connection, for example. For who this is, it could be a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. We also have Earth, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. This is someone who wants to take control of this situation and take charge. And the fact that they're coming in as a king is actually very good. The reason I talk about these shadow attributes of the King of Wands, even though it's in the upright, is because I'm asking who this is. So for me, I see the King of Wands as, like I said, someone who prioritizes their hobbies, their job, their friends, their social life, their wants and needs over this connection. And the fact that we have the Seven of Pentacles in reverse, smack dab in the middle of this reading, I do feel like this person maybe didn't put in a lot of effort towards this connection. Again, the fact that they're in the upright, though, when I asked who this is a good sign, because it's saying that this is someone who wants to, like, pursue you with that. I'm not saying they're going to chase you, but they could be in a bit of chasing energy, but they want to take control of this situation with that card. You could have felt like this person was quite arrogant or self-focused in the past, like I was saying. And this person could have also been, like, had control issues in some way. And on the bottom, we have the Four of Swords for who this is. So this is someone who's been resting, reflecting, withdrawn from you, holding back. And this is also an energy of healing that brings clarity. So I do feel like your person has had some clarity about this. All right, let's see their current energy. Show me this person's current energy, this King of Wands. That's really good. That's really good. So we have the Ten of Wands here. So this person is, you know, putting those burdens down. They could be releasing some of the burdens that kept them. Actually, I'm hearing baggage. So baggage from childhood. But look at this. This is actually very good. Their current energy, we have the sun. So they have clarity, very masculine energy, divine masculine energy, strength. So they're really tapping into their inner strength and their confidence to come towards you and take action, Page of Wands. So it does feel like their current energy, they're working up the courage to send this message. Page of Wands is a messenger. So that's actually really good. That's actually really good. All right. Let's continue. I'm going to see how they're feeling about you. So how is this person currently feeling about you? How are they currently feeling about you? One more. Why? These cards keep coming out in big clumps and like slamming down. So I feel, remember that heavy energy I was feeling? I do feel like this person is feeling quite heavy energy towards you. Oh, that's so nice. I mean, you. I like that this is coming up for you. For how they feel about you, we have the Queen of Cups. So they feel like you're someone very loving, compassionate, a healer, perhaps very intuitive, perhaps a psychic. But the Queen of Cups, you know, always gives me the message of someone who's focusing on self-love. So they do feel like you are someone focusing on your own self-love, your own self-worth. For how they feel about you, Queen of Cups in love talks about wanting to deepen a connection with you. So they are wanting to deepen and exist like a connection that they had with you in the past. They want to deepen it. They want to, however you want to take that. I just keep hearing the word deepening connection. Very nice. And again, I was hearing like you could have this healing energy about you where you wanted so badly to help this person, but I think you needed to choose yourself and put yourself first and release them. Very nice. I do believe they feel like you're someone they could create a lasting foundation with. All right, let's see how let's get another one for how they're feeling about you. How are they feeling? Jeez. I do feel like this person, may fear that you're moving on, and that could be what's caused them to really want to step up here and take control of this situation, because Three of Wands, on that Three of Wands card, we saw, I didn't really show it, but the person's back was turned, looking out into their future. And the fact that we have the Chariot here, I feel like this is someone who could have this fear that you're moving on and you're releasing them. And again, that could have been what lit a fire under them to step up into their power and take control of this situation. That Chariot card did I know you probably couldn't see it on camera, but the crazy flip that it did in the air. So I'm going to look at both meanings of the Chariot for you. But for how this person feels about you, like I said, I do feel like they do see you moving forward without them. They see you, you know, coming into alignment. There is an energy that, you know, they feel like, I do feel like you took control of the situation perhaps and put up boundaries and focused on yourself, but there's also a feeling that they need to do something. They need to make a move here. They need to come towards you with a Chariot. With it in reverse. With it in reverse, it can talk about obstacles. So I do feel like in the past there were a lot of obstacles here, or, you know, we have on the bottom Justice. So that's showing that energy where this person feels like they need to take accountability, perhaps for, you know, them not taking this connection forward is what I'm hearing. Anyway, I am seeing that they feel like they need to come towards you with truth and accountability and honesty. So we have Libra energy, Cancer, Leo, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. All right, so their intentions. What are your intentions with my friend? What are your intentions? What are your intentions with my friend? What is this person's intentions, please, Spirit? Well, that's good. That's good. 8 of Pentacles. So their intentions are to, their intentions are to put in the work here and to show you dedication and stability and commitment. 8 of Pentacles. That's their intentions. So those are really good. Again, I wanted to, while I was doing this reading, I know I kept saying, I really do need to check their intentions. Their intentions look good. 8 of Pentacles. Again, that's dedication. That's stability. That's commitment. Wanting to put in the effort. Wanting to put in the work. I like that. But I'm being called to grab one more for intentions. Show me their intentions. They keep coming out in clumps. So we do have the 6 of Cups and the Moon. So it does look like there's things they want to bring to light here with the Moon. I also feel like their intentions are to show you that they have worked on some of those childhood wounds, 6 of Cups, and they want to bring things to the surface. They want to bring clarity and awareness to possibly the shadow work that they've been doing. 6 of Cups is a good energy for intentions because it shows this person wants to heal this. They want to, you know, that's a reunion energy. So they definitely have the intention of wanting to get back together. I'm not hearing that their intentions are bad at all. It feels like, again, there's like truth and awareness they want to bring to this with that Moon. And their intentions are to follow their intuition. But there's something here about shadow work and childhood wounding that they want to bring to your awareness, is what I'm hearing. Nice. I like it. Nice. We also have Page of Pentacles. So this person, you know, it's another card of dedication. Page of Pentacles. They want something stable with you. Their intentions look really good. Especially the fact that we have Pentacles in their intentions. Just, that's very grounded energy. Pentacles, you know, bring stability. So I like that there's Pentacles. All right, let's see their actions. Let's see their actions. I like that. I like that. Yes. Yes. Sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm proud of your person. Because actions, this fell on the floor, but 10 of Pentacles, just as I was saying that. So it does feel like they want to commit to this. They want to commit to the long term with you. Their actions, an apology, balance, truth and accountability. Yes. And we have the Queen of Wands. So I know that a lot of people see the Queen of Wands and they immediately think, that's a karmic, that's a third party. But the Queen of Wands has such a different, like, I'm not hearing that at all. I'm hearing maybe they do want to release like third party interference. Maybe that third party interference is friends or family. But I'm hearing something completely different. In love, Queen of Wands is an energy of being open, confident and open. Openness in a relationship, Queen of Wands. So it does feel like they're going to come towards you in quite stable energy, wanting to bring justice to this, wanting to apologize, wanting to take accountability, and being very open about that. Not just that cryptic message that doesn't have an apology in it. And again, if that's how it comes in, hold out. Hold out for them to come in with this. Just my opinion. I just want to look at the Queen of Wands just to make sure I'm not missing anything. Confident, self-assured, passionate, determined. Openness in a relationship. That's exactly what I mean. So their actions are showing them coming in cheerful and confident and open and honest. I like it. So what is your advice? What is your advice about this person? What is your advice? So look at that. Remember at the very beginning of this reading, those were the two on the bottom after I shuffled. Or when I started. I can't remember. No, it was before I started. These were the two cards on the bottom of the deck. So your advice is that the end of conflict is near, 10 of Wands, and there's about to be this leap of faith. I like it. I want to see what this person wants you to know. I feel like this person is going to give you a new perspective, is what I'm hearing. You're going to see a new perspective of them. It's going to look very different from this and this. And your advice, if they're not showing you a new perspective, then it's not time, right? If they're not showing up with I know I'm repeating myself, but if they're not showing up with a heartfelt apology, if they're not showing you a new perspective, then it's not time for this new beginning. It doesn't mean it won't ever be time. But like I said, keep your boundaries up until you see that new perspective, until this person takes that accountability. All right. So I want to get some channeled messages from this person, and then I want to get a card of advice, although maybe I'll get the advice first. I'll do the advice first. So what is your advice for my beautiful friends? What is your advice about this, Spirit? We have TikTok, divine timing. What is your advice? What is your advice for my friend? Whoa. Oh, that's masculine energy that's taking action. So your advice is not to take action towards this person, but your advice is that this action is coming, and Spirit's saying, if they're showing you new perspective, if your inner compass is telling you, you know, wow, this person really is showing me that they're taking accountability and they've changed, it is safe to take action towards this. It is safe to have this new beginning. Very nice. I like that. But let them make the first move is what I'm hearing. So what advice do you need about this connection? What advice do you need? That card fell on the floor. I can't see it. I can't see what it is. We have by the book. By the book, 11. So trust your intuition, I'm hearing. 11. Oh, wow. So, your advice: getting along with others entails understanding and respecting who they have become as a result of their environment, culture, and experience. And again, that's why I went on that tangent about, I feel like a lot of this lower vibrational negative energy came from their environment growing up. Not that that doesn't, again, people misinterpret me. That does not mean, oh, this person's just wounded, I should just put up with bad behavior. That is not what I'm saying. But Spirit's telling you to have understanding that there's a reason this person was in this energy. Find the middle ground that allows the relationship to flourish while honoring the individuality of the other person. Play things by the book instead of trying to break the rules or pressures other to conform to the way you want to do things. Your connection will deepen as a result. So there's something about compromise, finding middle ground. I also feel like this goes back to what I was saying. I kept hearing, you can't fix someone else. And, maybe in the past you tried to pressure this person to heal, and you just kind of had to let things unfold naturally, is what I'm hearing. Let's get another one. Advice for my friend. Advice for my friend. Are you kidding me? Feminine energy. And on the bottom we have soulmates. I cannot touch this deck without the soulmate card coming out. If you watch my readings, that soulmate card always comes out. My belly just grumbled. So, your advice: let this person take the lead, right? Yang was on the bottom. Let them take the lead. Your message: let others take the lead right now. Your power lies in small gestures, soft awareness, and conscious surrender. By yielding the reins, you will find yourself effortlessly moving closer to what you truly desire. Permit others to tell you who they are and who they can be to you by allowing their actions to speak about them. Truth. You will be pleasantly surprised. And then we have soulmates. And I always feel called to read the protection message on this card, so that's the one I'm going to read to you. An important relationship brings you to your knees. This is the kind of soulmate who comes with a powerful gift. Your patterns and all your old stories that don't serve your well-being enter this dynamic so that you can heal them. This person is called to a sacred task to help you learn, even if it seems uncomfortable, sticky, or even inconceivable. The question is not, why did they do this? Why did they do this to me? But rather, what is the gift in this? Look in the mirror. You will only be changed for the better. So before I continue, I just want to get this. And this one. All right, let's get a message from your person. Inseparable. Our love is always there despite the distance. Forgiveness. Yes, forgiveness. And self-love. And sometimes people need to heal and learn how to love themselves before they can even be open to being self-aware, is what I'm hearing. There's a card that was left behind. Oh my goodness. Shadow side, you made me realize my flaws. And we have neglected. I failed to give you what you need. Remember that Seven of Pentacles? All right. So, what does your person want to say to you? We have third-party interference. There were other things, not necessarily people. There were other things that got in the way of us being together. And reminiscing, I miss our inside jokes. Messages from your person. Space. So clearly this person needed space to think about this. Remember when I said, who is this? Four of Swords. So someone who needed time and space to get clarity. And that's why I'm also saying, like, if this person, you don't have to reply right away. You can take some time to think about this before you reply. We have reveal. I want to tell you the truth. And that's what I meant about that moon card for actions or intentions. It was intentions. What does this person want to say? We have new chapter and chemistry. I've never felt a passion this intense. Two more. That one didn't want to come out. I think that was the gossip one. Aww. We have holding back. I should have expressed myself better. And then we have hope. I haven't given up hope on us yet. And reunion. We will always come back to each other. So, my friends, I'm going to leave this reading here. I am sending you lots of love and light. When this comes in, listen to your intuition, listen to your gut. Let your intuition lead the way. But yes, lots of love and light to you, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.